Okay, welcome. Today we're doing a deep dive into a really powerful piece of ancient writing. It's from Paul's second letter to Timothy, specifically chapter 1, verses 1 through 8.
Right. And our mission, really, is to see how this old letter speaks directly to things we all feel today. Anxiety, feeling overwhelmed, that fear of failing.
Exactly. We're zoning in on 3 key characteristics the source material says are the direct opposite of fear.
It's fascinating stuff.
So let's set the stage. Paul identifies himself as an apostle, but he's also, crucially, writing this as a prisoner.
Yeah, that context is huge.
And he's writing to Timothy, someone he clearly loves deeply. He calls him his beloved child. He even mentions remembering Timothy's tears and really wanting to see him.
It's very personal. And what really grounds this, I think, is Paul reminding Timothy about his faith heritage. He points to the sincere faith, that's the phrase he uses, which first lived in his grandmother Lois and then in his mother Eunice.
So it's not just Timothy on his own. There's a history there.
Precisely. It underscores that faith often has roots. It's often generational. It's a shared strength, not just an individual burden.
And building on that foundation, that heritage, Paul gives this urging. He tells Timothy to fan into flame the gift of God that's in him, which implies maybe the flame was dying down a bit. Why would Timothy be hesitating or, struggling?
Well, the notes suggest Timothy was up against some serious challenges. Opposition, maybe just general discouragement, and possibly fear about being linked to Paul, who was, imprisoned and likely discredited by some.
So a real internal conflict, fear telling him to pull back.
Exactly. Fear often whispers that lie, doesn't it? You're alone in this, or this is too big for you, or God's not going to show up here.
And that sets up the absolute core insight of this passage, doesn't it? Paul directly confronts that feeling.
He does. He basically says, that spirit of fear, that's not what God gave you, which leads straight to the pivotal verse.
Verse 7.
Verse 7, for God gave us a spirit not of fear, but of power and love and self-control. Fear is presented almost like a vacuum, something that needs to be actively replaced.
Okay, let's unpack those replacements. Power, love, and self-control. They sound good, but what do they actually mean in practice, according to the sources? Let's start with power.
Right. The notes suggest this isn't just like inner toughness, it's operational strength. Yeah. It's the actual ability to act, especially when things are difficult. It's the drive needed to face reality head on.
Okay, so the engine. But an engine needs steering, right?
Exactly, which is where love comes in.
Yeah.
Love directs that power. It's the capacity to care, to act for the good of others, even your opponents. It stops power from becoming harsh or self-serving.
Got it. Power to act, love to direct. And then the third one, self-control. This one feels particularly relevant today with all the, digital noise and anxiety.
Absolutely. And the reflections often broaden self-control beyond just, say, managing your temper. It's linked to practical wisdom, sound judgment. It's the mental discipline to make choices that aren't driven by fear.
So fear makes you react frantically.
Right, while self-control allows for considered, thoughtful action. For Timothy, maybe that meant handling church conflicts wisely. For you listening now, it could mean, managing the constant stream of information that feeds anxiety. It's about choosing well.
It's like the management system for the power and the love.
Perfectly put. It manages the execution.
So this trio: power for drive, love for direction, self-control for wise management. That's the toolkit for living boldly. Paul tells Timothy straight up, don't be ashamed. Not of the message, not even of me, the prisoner.
Instead, he says, share in suffering for the gospel by the power of God.
It really is an anti-hesitation message. Don't shrink back.
Exactly.
So, wrapping this up, what's the core takeaway for you listening? It seems clear. Fighting fear isn't passive. It requires actively fanning that flame using these integrated gifts God provides.
Right. You have the resources, power, love, self-control to push back against discouragement.
Which leads to a final thought. Drawing from those reflection questions.
Yeah, it's a provocative one. What would actually change in your day-to-day life, your decisions, your relationships, if you truly operated from the belief that God is with you, providing these things? If you consciously rejected that whisper of fear? Something to think about.
Definitely. Consider where fear might be steering things right now, and how maybe applying a bit more power, directed by love and managed with self-control, could change the course today.